as soon as we can figure out how. Okay, we figured it out. Prediction poll live. Go ahead and gamble, everybody. Who won between me and Force of Phil? I won. I won. We'll see more rounds with me playing later. Raghavan to start the game for Force of Phil, and Raghavan to start the game for Dave Kaplan. So we're starting off the match with two of Twitch chat's favorite cards, and they'll trade. Wasteland here, and another monkey for Force of Phil. All right, so this is a pretty good start for Phil here. Steam Vents, untapped, and Raghavan. Assassin's Trophy on Raghavan. Let's see if this gets dazed. Nope. And no search. Force of Phil, Force of Will, excuse me, revealed. For Force of Phil. Manus is very fast. Yes. What's up, Poing? Poing is here, everybody. Right on time. Let's see if Kaplan follows up here. Pokemon Flame Energy or Fire Energy is a treasure. SJ Cantor says, hate to see the monkey win, but at least we'll get to see it lose too. That's one way to look at it. How's everybody feeling about Magic the Gathering in the year 2021? I know we could sit here and complain about Raghavan, but how was Magic the Gathering for you in its entirety in 2021? Was this a good year? Was it a bad year? I know we're in a pandemic right now and events aren't firing. How's everybody feeling about Magic in 2021? Does anybody want to share any thoughts? As we wind down the prediction poll, looks like Jund favored by chat, 64% favored for Jund. And what are you hoping for in 2022 from Magic the Gathering? Let us know. All right, sacking a treasure and Sylvan Library on the stack here for Force of Phil, and that'll resolve. Fetch and Delver. Kip says it was a bad year. I didn't do much. Honestly, I feel you, Kip. I feel you. Mr. Fringe says we need COVID to go away so we can actually play. Otherwise, it seems to be fizzling and people moving on. I'm doing my very best to keep it alive. I'll say that. Alia says, honestly, I'm having a blast in every format I got to play in, Modern and Legacy. Nice. Alias with some hope for everybody. A mix for me, I play a lot of 12 posts, but that deck is not as good as before I got on Food Chain. Okay, Mr. Perez. My 2022 wish is MH3 gives us Veteran Explorer for Modern, says Elias. That sounds interesting. Lewinil says, I'm on a 3-trophy streak in MH2 drafts. So MTG is pretty great right now. Nice. And you know, Lewinil touching on something that I try to have a consistent reminder for everybody watching, just because I need this reminder myself. Make Magic fun for you. Like, if a certain format or a certain deck is not fun for you at the moment, find something else. Like, find happiness in this game. Use this game to make yourself happy. Use it as a tool, almost. And don't let Magic have you feeling down. It's a beautiful game with lots to do. Mondale says, I've been having fun building pre-modern commander. That sounds actually pretty cool. Who's the commander? I'm wondering. Mr. Fringe wants Grindstone in Modern. Sounds somewhat reasonable.
However,
Do you have Delirium?
I have instant land creature. I do not have Delirium yet.
You revealed it on the board, Susan.
See Expressive Iteration in Daze and Wasteland in hand for Kaplan, who has a Murktide on the board, but it's not very impressive. Blocking Ragavan is Dave. Apologies that the life totals aren't that easy to see, but Unholy Heat's going to tag Murktide. And here's Tarmogoyf, which will be dazed. Yeah. Use the treasure, right? Yep, it gets dazed.
Good.
Let's go.
Croesus Grixis and Sinashin Falconer. Green-red. I'm not familiar with the Falconer. Are the two I'm tooling around with. Nice. Croesus Grixis sounds sick. Love Invasion block. Reckless Impulse reveals Unholy Heat in a swamp, which will be on standby until the end of the next turn. Okay, swamp gets played. And passing. That's true. We do have prime time already in Modern. Maybe we don't need Veteran Explorer just yet. Expressive Iteration for Dave. At 6 life, can take 2 hits from this Insectile Aberration before getting KO'd. Daze and Exile, that's not going to do anything. Looks like a Dragon's Rage channel went to the bottom. I'm sure. Wasteland. Firing it off, hitting Badlands. Pretty good. Shutting off red. And Daze will stay exiled. Attacking for 3 with Insectile Aberration, Verdant Catacombs for Force of Fill, and Tarmogoyf. I think Force of Fill has this game. Oh, okay, so he has a Force. Going down to 2. If Dave can kill this Insectile Aberration, he might be able to stabilize, but Punishing Fire is in the deck. I even see one in the graveyard right now. Here's Murktide. It's a thumbs up. Looks like it's going to be a 6/6. Six Murktide. Insectile Aberration. Will likely stay back for blocks now, but let's see if Force of Fill can find a... there's Dash Ragavan, and that should be game. That is game. All right, Punishing John gets a game. Very nice. I know there's the... Oh, wait, there's already Recycle in Modern, right? There's a black color-shifted version. Or am I thinking of another card? Null Profession. Yeah. Yeah, so maybe we won't see Recycle. Or maybe we will. All right, turn 1 Delver for Dave. Null Profusion, okay. I have a deep encyclopedia knowledge of all things Magic the Gathering, and Wizards of the Coast wants to take that away from me, Elias. They want to take it away. I don't know. Ponder. Gilded Goose is back. Wonder what other synergies there are for these foods in Force of Phil's deck. Let me think. Would Ignoble Hierarch just be better than Goose in this deck? Was there anything else using artifacts? I'm drawing a blank.
I have 8 being on the draw.
Alien says, love the Eternal content. Thank you. Yeah, the late game life gain is more valuable. That could be the reason. Hierarchs getting altered might also be a reason. We've seen this Goose a couple of times already. I think it's more than a one-of. Here's Ragavan. Cheek says, new viewer here. Can you tell me more about this channel? Legacy player from Houston, Texas here. Well, hello. Happy to have a new viewer. About this channel, we're just covering Paper Legacy and Paper Eternal and non-rotating formats on this channel. If you'd like to see our gigantic library of all different formats, all different videos, I suggest checking out our YouTube channel, 90S MTG on YouTube, and hit subscribe there. And that's really it. Happy to have you with us. And Poing is right. We do like bagels here. And occasionally, this is rare, we talk about things unrelated to Magic the Gathering, if you can believe it. Some people get really upset about that. Just a warning. You know, and I love and appreciate all the people that are, leaving silly comments lately on our YouTube videos about bagels and me being fired for talking about them and stuff like that. But man, do people get bent out of shape about me not focusing on every single game action and providing in-depth analysis? They really, some people get really bent out of shape about that. They're really upset. And I don't get it. It's really strange. Aileen says, I'm currently playing Legacy Doomsday, Vintage DPS when I get the chance, old school power monolith, and currently building pre-modern Doomsday as well. So this content is right up my alley. It sounds like it is right up your alley. Many of your fellow viewers are also playing all of those formats and brewing as well. Many of them in our Discord, collaborating. All right, well, there's a second goose, so that answers that. Insectile Aberration getting attack. Misty Rainforest cracking and Dragon's Rage Channeler. Moses says it's the same goose. Matrix, that's true. Deja vu. Aileen, thanks for the sub with Prime. Welcome, welcome. Happy to have you here with us. Thank you for the sub. I really appreciate it. Another sub. Drummer, thanks for the follow. Welcome. Sorry I missed you.
There's triggers on the stack.
Oh.
What's going on is like.
All right. Usually people at the triggers are off. I was just thought
Okay.
you were saying that.
Yeah, you did it. You just.
Small miscommunication there, no big deal. Submerge gets Power Blast, and Dragon's Rage Channeler Surveil trigger will now resolve.
Good fetch.
Yeah. You hit
I
the
get that. Yep.
Sorry, I'm just like
No, you're all good.
more accustomed to trigger resolving.
Totally.
So many of those people are.
All good. Surveil triggers usually do just resolve without anything happening. How do you feel about this, chat? I often let my opponents surveil before taking any action that I want to take before whatever spell they cast to trigger the surveil resolves. Because I want them to think I don't have anything. Does that make sense? Do you like letting surveil resolve before you take an action? Or do you respond to a spell with surveil still on the stack? Which do you prefer? I don't know.
About that. That's kind of cool.
Turn the flashes in.
Yeah, my mom was like that. That supposedly she was naturally lefty, but then he got her hand got beaten out of that trying to left hand, so she became a righty. So her writing is
Endurance getting cast here.
she never
Hard cast.
right, but like
Yep, I hit you.
it's like like how doctors can't read what they write. Pretty much it's
And I'll go to block.
maybe.
I'll go with this.
I never thought of that.
Seems like good blocks. And Tactile Aeration looking sad at the moment. Bolt. Because sometimes, let's imagine a scenario where I have a removal spell for their Dragon's Rage Channeler. They surveil, and imaginary scenario, they put a Dragon's Rage Channeler from their library into their graveyard thinking, don't need any more creatures, let's say. This is just a made-up scenario. Then I bolt their Dragon's Rage Channeler. Like, they thought they had more information, but did they really? I don't know. No need to give them extra information before making the decision, says Drummer.
Yeah, that's
That
amazing.
freaks me out. No, that's super cool though.
Yeah, I wonder if when I was a bit more open last
Yep,
time,
for one.
Yep.
I'll pass.
because the knitting,
I'll
because the knitting,
make a food and crack a food.
actually, yeah, because I crochet with my left.
Make a food, crack a food, says Force of Phil. Gilded Goose, a good engine to gain life, that's for sure.
Like the holding on my right is the other doing
I'll get in there. I got land, instant, creature, artifact, 4/5.
I love that Chris always has the.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I know.
Double block.
Sure.
I always like
take this one.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Glyph gets double blocked. Murktide down.
It's like the cool part of the is that
He's
I
got
can like study ship city like an otter here, like we're all just animals. Like,
Yeah,
there's no
yeah.
there's no records. People don't keep necklace.
he's gonna
Sorry, somebody messaged me asking if they can send me a card list.
if they put it away
Oh,
in response.
Wasteland. Bolting Gilded Goose. Creating a food in response. Now 6 foods for Force of Phil. It's going to need another die soon. 2 types now in the yard for Dave Kaplan. And attacking. No, not attacking. Attacking with a 1/1. Wasteland, Badlands. Okay. Rebellion says, finally, I see a live stream. You always stream at this time of the day, night here. Yeah. Always Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern time. New York City time. Is when we do a live stream. Glad you could catch us live, Rebellion. Issue says, depends if you want them to make decision based on current info or game state or after you interact. It's situational, but most often I prefer waiting after surveil too. Yeah. Make them surveil thinking the coast is clear has been my approach. All right, expressive iteration resolving for Dave Kaplan. Alias with the question we've all been thinking. Who would win in a fight, a shaman becoming a dragon or one goosey boy? I think the dragon. That's the final ruling on that. Force of Will goes into exile. Endurance going to attack for Force of Fill. Risky not to block against the Punishing Jund deck. All right, chump. Sacking a food with Carpet Mana. I think Dave Kaplan is in trouble here. Wasteland.
Dash.
So like if there's definitely a trail of like, hey, this person wants this thing.
Thank you for 3, 4, 5, 6.
What did you get that?
Grove of the Burnwalls in exile.
I just never really.
I got mine stuff.
Yeah.
I'll make the
These
food.
guys,
Yep.
this guy, this guy, and I'm thinking about a couple more. That's how it goes.
I was never so much scared of too afraid of
I'll use 2 green and gain 3.
Yep.
I had a couple fraternities
Yeah.
who had ages, and I was just like,
That doesn't.
Sack of food with Carpet Mana again. Kaplan down to 2. Needs to do something about endurance now. Doesn't have enough cards in the yard to delve for a Murktide at the moment. Brainstorm is the play here. We know Ragavan is in hand and can chump block. But that's not going to win the game. Maybe Unholy Heat is in this deck. Healing Solve, yeah. Thinking about dashing Ragavan here? No. Chump blocker Ragavan coming down. Yep. And a tapped Steam Vents. Passing the turn. Making a food is Force of Fill. Now it's 6 foods. Reckless Impulse for Force of Fill. Exiling Unholy Heat, which wins the game. Unholy Heat able to remove Ragavan, and Phil gets there. Force of Fill takes it down.